This week on Arizona Illustrated, shooting lightning. Ray Campas, mentoring young people one razor cut at a time. Eavesdropping on a hummingbird nest. And longtime mafia boss and Tucson resident Joseph Bonnano goes to jail. From the Vault is back. Hello and welcome to Arizona Illustrated. I'm Tom McNamara. Tucson is known for its gorgeous sunsets, mild winters, and rich cultural history. What you might not know is that it's also referred to by some as the lightning capital of the world. Monsoon season brings spectacular thunderstorms, and for the photographers you're about to meet, every storm offers a chance for a unique and beautiful creation.
There's a bunch of good apps for weather and lightning and things like that, but it's also not as good as someone looking out and looking at clouds and driving.
Do you need a car to shoot lightning? A car is a good idea.
We're driving at a reasonable rate to see if we can get out to a place where there's clouds that are building because it's ever elusive.
It's only 5:30, so it's like 2 hours before we can even shoot yet. We're trying to get out of where the lightning is now and trying to be somewhere where the lightning's gonna be in an hour and a half. I moved here from Illinois. When we moved to Arizona, you could see everywhere because there wasn't trees, and the big storms would build up on the Catalinas and move into the desert. And we just thought that was really cool.
I moved to Arizona when I was 12. I wasn't so happy in Arizona because it was boring and it was hot. And then the monsoons came, and I went directly outside and gravitated to the lightning. And my dad went out there with me, and we just hung out and watched the storms. I don't think probably too much is going to come out of this, but that's part of the deal.
I'm thinking it sucks, unfortunately. I mean, it's kind of iffy that we're going to get any kind of photo. The sun will probably pop through here when the sun's going down over there, and it'll, beautiful light will be coming through here, and you just don't know what you're going to shoot, so you want to come out and look around.
I've been lucky enough to get, oh, there's some lightning, so there we go. So we're going to drive a little further now.
For starters, with lightning, since it's so dangerous and people get killed all the time, you need to be aware of safety, your own personal safety. I mean, the thing is, no photo's worth getting struck by lightning.
The essential things that you're going to need is some sort of camera that has either a bulb setting or that can at least shoot for 30 seconds. And if it has a bulb setting, then you'll need a cable release. And you'll need a tripod of some sort, and you'll need better to have a wider lens because it gives you more of a chance that you'll actually get something in the frame. If you shoot at a lower ISO, meaning 50 or 100, and then you expose at, say, f8, if they gave you that, you got a pretty good chance that you'll be able to catch something.
All your predictable parts, like how many tripods, what lenses do I shoot with, which cameras do I set up, do I shoot this on film, do I shoot it on digital, all of that stuff is the variables that you control. I think it's a little too much rain. Damn, I almost would have got that. None of that matters if the lightning doesn't cooperate and do what you're hoping that it'll do.
It's a lot like fishing, just because you put your camera up doesn't mean you get to catch a big bolt. So, but it was fun to stand by the thing and try and take a lightning photo, and now we're off again down on the road to Wilcox, so maybe there'll be something better around the corner.
In a year, like if you go out somewhere between 30 and 60 times in a monsoon season, That was interesting, whatever that was. I don't even know if there's lightning bolts in there, but we missed that. See, no camera was closed when that was going on.
Did you get that? Because that was huge if it got it.
The randomness of it is completely wonderful for me. We'll never get this moment again. Like we will never see this sky again look exactly like this.
We're over by the edge of Davis Mountain and kind of just shooting pictures of a rainbow before the sun goes down. It's a pretty brilliant rainbow. You got the rainbow and you need the next thing. What's the next thing? 99% of the time, I get the amazing clouds and the amazing foreground, no lightning. Or huge lightning bolt hits right on the edge of the frame. You know, it's like garbage. I used to just throw those out. And now that it's all digital, you're just delete, 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 delete.
We're shooting it from the car, but it's just, it doesn't look very focused because the rain gets in the way of the light. All right, well, I say we're out of the truck stop. Oh, damn it, see? That one I missed. Damn it. Oh, why did you miss that?
Show me a lightning. Show me the lightning. We've only seen 4 or 5 bolts. There was like 80 in 15 minutes, like 2 hours, an hour and a half ago when we started. Where's the lightning? Be getting 10. There's another one. We either got that one or missed it. Oh, I missed it. Missed it. Damn. Oh, there's a lightning bolt.
There's the iconic shot when you're there and you're set up on a tripod, but I'm taking also the shot that you're driving, there. Part of the reason I like that shot so much is because it seems more accurate to what most people experience. Because when you're driving, when there's a flash off to one side or another, it's kind of a blur that you switch, and sometimes you see the strike and sometimes you don't, and that's kind of what those images are about.
The thing that I like is it's a visual representation of energy. Energy controls so much in this world, everything's fueled by energy. And it's just really interesting that lightning, kind of like paints a photograph of what energy looks like. And it's something that I do. I shoot lightning. I'm a lightning photographer. So I've been shooting lightning for 30 years. And it's like there's always something different, Tucson's a really great place to shoot lightning because we have large expanse of space and we have really dramatic mountains. Generally speaking, there's like dry air out to the west, which keeps the sun clear, which makes this really dramatic side lighting come in on everything.
There's such variety of landscape and mountains and storm direction, and it's condensed into a certain area. From 4th of July till sometime in September, there's going to be storms.
The thunderstorms is the monsoon is what brings life to the desert, and so it's like all part of that too. It's like this whole axis that our whole environment pivots on in Tucson.
It's not easy to capture what you see, but that's okay. I think the reason why I'm still out here looking for a photograph is only partly for the photograph.
If you've been the best at something you've done with passion for decades, you can spend your days looking back at your legacy or looking forward by sharing it. That's what Ray Campas does. And in doing so, he's given many a path towards a fulfilling career and life.
He wants this place to look nice. Everybody has a chore, so get your chores done.
He's always watching. He sees everything. He's always telling us stand up straight, don't slouch, look professional.
I feel like I'm privileged to learn from someone that good, and he started just when he was young as me, so hopefully I'll end up just like him.
Ray, I mean, he's old school. He's done it for 50 plus years.
I believe Ray knows everything.
Let's say you're walking in here to the shop. I'm not looking at your shoes and I'm not looking at your clothes. I'm looking at your hair. Picture the haircut and that. I tell them we're not selling clothes, we're not selling shoes. We're selling haircuts. My name is Ray Campas and I'm the owner of Hollywood Barber College. Remember the light spot is your guide, okay? I'll be 81 next month. Start a little lower than that, okay? I've been the teacher, for quite a while. I don't know, something like 22 years now, I guess. Put this comb in this corner here.
Oh, I've learned everything from Ray.
Very good, very good.
Just watching his techniques. My name is Cara Denius, and I am an instructor here at Hollywood Barber College. Just the straight razor, you need to make sure that you're not pushing too hard down. As a student, I loved it. That's why I came back. I consider him family. He's an extraordinary barber. I've learned so much. I learned still so much. You're more susceptible to chopping it off, so nice and easy. Anytime you watch, you can pick up something new and different that he might do that maybe he might not say. So you just kind of watch the detail. I think that's exciting.
At your eyes, show you the darkness, the shadows, the shadows, make a good haircut.
If you take it by the ear, that's what?
My folks want me to go to college. They couldn't afford it, So I seen the ad in the paper, Tucson Barber College. My group was the second group of graduating from there, so that's how I got into barbering. I worked at night and came to school in the daytime. Way back, 1953, I started. I was at a shop called Maestro's. Good, an Italian guy. He offered me a job while I was in barber college, see? He taught me a lot of just how to take care of customers, Por este lado de acá.
Yeah, that's where he makes his part.
Yeah, but you're gonna grab it this way. It's not just somebody you're gonna take it $6, $7 away from him, You gotta treat him special.
Nice. Thank you, Ray.
They come in and they tell me I got a birthday. Well, it don't cost you nothing. Happy birthday,
Thank you, you're doing good. When it comes to barbering, there's always someone watching, whether it be the guy cutting next to you, the guy being cut next to you. You never know who's gonna walk in through that door, and you should always treat everybody the same.
La niña. Muy bien, gracias. I grew up at the Barrio Hollywood, and we opened a shop there. At that time, I was married, and my wife said, what are we gonna name it? If you're at the Barrio Hollywood, I said, so we'll name it Hollywood. So that's how the name stuck. At that time, everybody got a shave on their way to work. So it was always the same customers every morning. There was more to being a barber. There was more in the industry. There was always something new that would come up, and I wanted to learn it. And I kept learning as much as I could to where I just about could do anything with hair. So when you're gonna do that, you gotta really take it up. This year I was getting an award for the state championship, Arizona. Here's another one, state championship from Phoenix, Arizona. California championship. The California Southern Division state championship, and we won all 6 trophies. It got to be a habit. Wherever there was a show, competition, I want to go. This is me. This is Ralph. Ralph passed away. Angel worked here in town. Max worked too. I won something like 66 awards. Second in the United States, lost by 2 points for being a United States champion. All done with the razor. No shears, no clippers, just razor cut. It's an art. You know, it's like an artist doing a nice painting.
It's just a great experience. That's one of the reasons I came here, because of what Hollywood's known for, what Ray's known for.
He said that even when he was barbering for decades, he would still take these master courses and always learning.
I hope to be cutting as long as Ray. You know, the more you cut, the more experience, the better you get throughout the years, you know. My mom and my aunts, they all are barbers. They all came here 8 years or more ago. Everyone has their own style, and you get to make people look good and be happy with how they look.
There we are. I'm trying to teach them to be respectful.
Take you over to the front.
Yep. Customers like to be taken care of by professionals. And I've had students that I've had to say, I can't teach you. You're set in your ways, and that's the way it is. You know, nobody here can help you. I want them to be the best, you know. That's what they do. Happy, have a nice family. I said to myself one day, I like to rent a big place, have a big reunion, you know. I don't think there's a big enough place to have a reunion. Sometimes I'll stop by their shop, say hi. Makes me feel good that they are successful. I love them all. I say they're all my kids.
Like what you see on Arizona Illustrated? Visit our webpage at azpm.org to watch and share videos from this episode. You'll also find stories from future programs, an easy way to submit your own story idea, an archive of past episodes of Arizona Illustrated, and you'll find everything you need to stay connected with public broadcasting in Southern Arizona. azpm.org. September, the month that brings a modest, if sometimes barely noticeable respite to the intense heat. It's also the time of year when we Southern Arizonans begin to feel like we've done it. We've survived another Sonoran summer. Well, while most of us were scampering from one air-conditioned space to another, outside in a seemingly odd and precarious place, an annual spectacle was playing out right in front of our very eyes. While students were away for the summer, crews at the University of Arizona were hard at work, putting the finishing touches on the new Environment and Natural Resources building for the upcoming school year. Installing wireless internet was one of the final steps.
When they were getting ready to install the wireless access points, when they got over to this particular point, they thought it was like a little bag or something that was stuck on the end of their cable. It looked like maybe somebody put something there to protect it, but it looked like a dirty little bag.
This is what one crew found hanging from the end of the cable.
I didn't know what to think, to be honest with you. It's like, is this something we should take down and put the access point up? Should we keep it?
So they weren't sure, so when they climbed up on the ladder, Obviously, they found that it was a nest with a couple eggs in it.
It turns out the nest was built by a black-chinned hummingbird. The eggs were still a few days away from hatching. Kent Ridgway sent an email asking what to do about it.
Within a couple hours, there are emails flying back and forth and like, hey, this would be really cool if we could get a webcam up there so we can, watch the whole process. And brought it to my boss's attention. He's like, yeah, this is creating some buzz. We should definitely get a webcam up there.
In a matter of a couple days, UITS installed a camera. They got the feed over to our department, and our IT guys got it on our website, and we started kind of promoting it or letting people know.
The 24-hour live feed of the webcam was up and running. It gave us all a view into an unfamiliar world.
The bird actually on the webcam probably looks at least 5 times bigger.
There are other hummingbird cameras, but I've heard this is one of the best views of a nest that a lot of people have seen. I've watched them from a long way away in my yard, but the views from the webcam have been really amazing.
UA staff were some of the first people to start watching, and some watched a lot.
It's been really difficult. I keep a browser up at all times with the camera so I can keep an eye on them. When I come out to use the restroom, I'll make sure I stop by so I can see how they're doing.
I posted it to Facebook, and I have friends all over the world. You can tell I'm English, and there are people who are completely obsessed. I've had texts from people at 5 in the morning who are worried about the hummingbirds.
As the hummingbirds were born and started to grow, so did traffic on the webcam. The live feed was picked up by Wired magazine, but got the most traffic from a UA employee who posted it to Imager, an online image sharing site. At times, there were over 1,000 people tuning in to watch at the same time.
Wife, kids always want to see it. When they wake up in the morning, they want to see it. Family wants to see it. Work, it's it's pretty amazing.
It's been great, but also worrying because nature can be pretty raw, and you're always worried, oh, the eggs aren't going to hatch, the babies are going to fall out, then, something's going to happen.
The nest was doing okay, and then it sort of started tilting a little bit, and then a little bit more, and we were getting phone calls apparently from across the country from folks who were worried about the plight of the babies and that they might fall out of the nest.
I think there'll actually be a bit of relief when they've both flown away because we can all get on with our work.
Eventually, after some practice, one of the young birds got up enough courage to leave the nest. One reluctant fledgling remained. Its mother kept coming back and providing food while encouraging this little one to finally leave the nest.
Leaving the nest. There's a lot of link between that and all the parents that are going to be delivering their kids to U of A next week, because there's all these people leaving the nest next week.
This little bird is about to leave all it has ever known and faces an uncertain future. It is a dramatic moment. It's part of the cycle of life that happens millions of times every year all across the world, just not always dangling from a cable. A cable connected to modern technology that allowed over 250,000 people to watch this ancient process unfold.
I think it's absolutely awesome that the hummingbirds decided to move in before anybody else did.
I think it's significant, and it's also very heartwarming because it's a building that's devoted to the environment. It's a building that is devoted to the science of the environment.
Nature, why did that happen?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I never thought in a million years you'd see something like that,
In the summer of 1985, longtime mafia boss and Tucson resident Joseph Bonnano was being questioned as part of a federal racketeering case. The case was being argued by then U.S. Attorney and future New York City Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. Bonnano was represented by William Kunstler, whose former clients included Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Abby Hoffman, and Black Panther Bobby Seale. And while the deposition occurred here in Tucson, the eyes of the world were watching, and now you can too, from the vault.
Despite pleadings by Bonnano's attorneys to have him put in custody at St. Mary's Hospital or to grant a stay pending an appeal to be filed tomorrow, U.S. District Court Judge Richard Owen ordered Bonnano to be incarcerated at the Metropolitan Correctional Facility in Tucson. The prison on South Wilmot Road has medical facilities. Bonnano was cited for contempt of court because of his refusal to answer questions from U.S. Attorney Rudolph Giuliani at a deposition held today at St. Mary's Hospital. Bonnano was represented by New York Attorney William Kunstler and Tucson lawyer Alfred Skip Donow.
I just think the government's out to get him, and if they don't get him by one way, they're going to get him by another way, and I think this was just another way of getting him.
At his age, with the inability to get to medications and with the stress involved in incarceration, I think absolutely there's a great possibility he'll die in prison.
Maybe for once it's finally come about that Mr. Bonnano will be treated like every other citizen of the United States and not like he has described himself as the head of state being the head of an organized crime family.
After Judge Owen told Bonnano he would be cited for contempt if he did not answer the questions, Bonnano complained of chest pains and asked for nitroglycerin. Prosecutors and defense attorneys had different perceptions of Bonnano's health at today's deposition.
You saw him on television. I saw him. The man answered every single question the way he wanted to answer it. He is perfectly capable of answering questions.
I felt kind of ashamed to be in the whole proceeding with this sick and ailing man sitting there, surrounded by blood pressure machines and doctors.
Yesterday's hearing and today's deposition were attended by a number of New York attorneys who represent those indicted in the commission case. As for Bonnano, Judge Owen says he could be fined and or prosecuted for criminal contempt. The judge told Bonnano he will keep him in prison for the duration of the March 17th trial unless he changes his mind and testifies.
Thank you for joining us here on Arizona Illustrated. Next week, the Mexican gray wolf in Arizona. Ina or Ina, Houghton or Houghton, what's in a street name? The secrets of successful aging. And old Tucson on fire from the vault. I'm Tom McNamara. See you next week.